Bro, I mean this so fucking seriously. Like, I mean this so sincerely. I'm a long time fighting game player, but for whatever reason, I just cannot stop playing Dokkan Battle. And the worst part about it is this is the least good mobile game I've played that I can't stop playing. This isn't an ad. I wish it was an ad. I wish to God someone would pay me to play this terrible, terrible game. But they will not. So I am just doing this. This is my Dokkan Battle is my Sisyphusian fucking boulder that I just every day I wake up and I push it up the goddamn mountain, and I hope to high heaven that this will be the day that it doesn't tumble back down and I don't wake up, reach for my phone, and turn it back on. The 9th anniversary just ended, and I downloaded the JP version so I could play it early on my phone, while usually using my PC to play my main NA account. I am free to play on both versions. Do you know what kind of insanity that entails? This isn't even a very free-to-play friendly game. Anyone who says it is a liar. It's only good the first like 2 months. And still, somehow I have convinced myself to play way too much of it. So you may be thinking, well, which gacha games are good if there is such a thing? And I guess I'd say like Epic 7's one I put a lot of time into once upon a time. I've since retired my account functionally, but I used to pay like $10 to $20 here or there every month for the little, whatever the currency was called at the time. It would basically just trickle in as a daily boost to your stones you'd get. But there was a lot to do in that game. You could grind gear, you could grind the resources you needed to actually level these fucking characters up. In Dokkan, you are functionally done with anything like that the moment your account is like, I don't know, 4 months old. Like, if you're playing at a reasonable rate, you functionally don't run into any problems with leveling the characters, grinding the characters, Dokkan events, blah blah blah. You're really just waiting for content patches, which is, I cannot believe that I joined this game in its 8th year. I just showed up randomly, and before that, there was 8 previous years where people would wait for content that was old to finally come to the NA version, or I guess the global version. Like, there's been talks of this like elusive global sync that's finally happening in the summer, and my only question is, you could keep the fucking characters, why not drop the content? Because there's nothing to do in this game if they don't drop content. That's the craziest part. I think this is my greatest desire for Dokkan, if you're asking only me what I would love to see from the game. And that's, well, okay, I have 2. 1, remove the restriction on hidden potential systems. It's so much stones, and if you're not a whale, it's literally like a week worth of stones to re-roll a character that you already needed to pull 4 fucking copies of. So whatever. 2, this game could desperately use a grindable something, whether it be an equipment system or just anything. There is actually nothing to idle on this game. The thing about Epic 7 that was so neat is that you needed different teams for different missions. You could have a character that was terrible in the PvP aspect of it, but it was just so good at killing the stupid wyvern. And because it was good at killing the wyvern, it had great value in your box. I don't know why PvE games don't do more of that. Like, what is the counterpoint for not adding something to do regularly? You know what I mean? Because there are so many times in Dokkan where your run each day is just to get on, do your dailies, and close the fucking game. It's so funny. It is so weird how this game has existed for 8 years. 9 years at this point. And dead ass, it feels like they forgot to add content. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, maybe I need to be a game developer. Maybe I need to put on my game development band. Because, like, Okay, here's the thing. Wholesale credit to Dokkan devs. I played a lot of the content on the 9th year anniversary, and I genuinely can't wait to interact with it on my main account. Genuinely, I really want to, because I started a JP account fresh, just to partake in like some of the summons. Broly's one of my favorite characters. I just wanted to use him. I didn't care what I had, I just thought it would be cool. I made it a week in advance, and I got to do the things free to play. But I can't do the content, obviously. You know, I can struggle through it, but on my main account I'd be able to no item it, and which was it was a challenge run, but we'll get into that later. But I'm looking forward to it because it's such a spike in content difficulty across so many events. It feels so good to be looking forward to engaging with this PvE game. And my question is, why is that yearly? Is that not insane to anyone? Like, you could genuinely... What? What a crazy state. It's only a PvE game. They don't have to balance these characters around anything but their ability to hit an AI. Why is it that, one, the characters from 2023 by and large are either just okay or terrible outside of the big celebrations, and two, they're not like a big boss every single time a celebration happens? Like, am I unreasonable? Someone has to be unreasonable, and I feel like it can't be me. I feel like I'm talking my thoughts out, and gun to the back of my head, name 5 good Dokkan events that weren't released in the 9th anniversary. They're gonna blow me away. I'm gonna have to look my mother in the eye as she says goodbye to her child, her beloved. Which is a pretty good segue because I also play a bit of Dragon Ball Legends. And that game's also super fun, but for different reasons. That's a PvP game. You're playing against other players. The units you pull have an immediate, insane value because when you make a PvP game, much like Epic 7, you are much more incentivized to just make them insanely broken so that the player base feels behind and it creates this... But, like, much like Dokkan, I don't know what it is with Dragon Ball media that just loves fucking its viewer base, but okay, I'm gonna segue into another thing. I've been playing the card game. Fusion World just released. That is the stingiest card game I've ever played, and I've put $60 into it. I treated it like I am purchasing the game for full price. I said, you know what, it's a card game. I'm going to give you 60 of my dollars so that I can play it at base level. If I walked into a store to buy a pack of real life cards, I would pay my money to get a starter deck and blah, 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 blah. You have to buy 2 of each starter deck to get the 2 apiece super rares that are in those, which are the finishers in the game. If you tried to grind this naturally, it would take you an ungodly amount of time. If you want to talk about Sisyphus' struggle, you need to talk about going onto Fusion World, looking your self-respect in the eye and watching your ego die as you gain 10 gems per match completed, which is a 10th of the price for a pack, which is a 10th of the 10 pull, which gets you a guaranteed SR above, which are all of the cards that let you finish the game. You cannot win these games unless you have these finishers, because the state that the game exists in right now is you're functionally being aggro until you can drop bombs. If you ever played Magic or something, you know what bombs are. But all to say is, I don't know why being a Dragon Ball fan is so enchanting to me. I guess I'm just nostalgia rotted. I just love it so much because Z dictated so much of my childhood that I cannot escape. I see them release Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, and I see his eyes go white and his hair spike up as he fucking mourns Android 16's death, and I go, yippee! I just can't help it. I'm actually just so exhausted by Dragon Ball products. There's just something about them though that I don't know. I wish I loved myself more, I guess. I wish all this is to say, all of these 10 minutes of rambling is to say that I wish I loved myself more. But I can't. So I'm going to go play Dokkan. God, please. Like, why is it that in Epic 7, I could get on Epic 7 right now, and I could look forward to grinding the stupid wyvern because there's dopamine in the gear drops that exist. Much like an ARPG. If anyone plays an ARPG and they say, I wish that there wasn't a good loot system, I just want to kill monsters, fucking go play, what's that game? Vampire Savior. Go just blast away. The reason games like this that are PvE are good is because there's something to interact with once you're rewarded for killing the monsters that feeds into your power and your ability to kill the monsters, etc., etc. Anyway, I don't know what any of this was. If you liked it, subscribe, like it, show it to people, tell them that if they like Dragon Ball, the Yippee.